because we'll begin with Joel. What is the total county budget, and how much of that money is from the federal government?
Total county budget, I think, is about $80 million. I don't know. I wish I was a know-it-all and everything. I don't know the exact amount that's from the federal budget. I bet Commissioner Anderson does, and I hope he shares it with us. You know, this is a frustrating issue when the federal government takes our money from us, takes it to Washington, D.C., and then says, oh, we have a one-size-fits-all solution for you. We will give it back to you, but you need to either match, this amount of funds, or you need to do things our way. I resent that. But I'm going to take it even farther. It's not just the federal government, it's the state government as well that does this. It is the county government. When I was on the city council, I saw county requirements I thought were unfair. I believe firmly that we need to press down the decisions and the money to the lowest level so that local officials can make that decision. Unlike my opponent, I came through the city council ranks at a very small city, 10,000 people. We get these mandates all the time that we're supposed to do things just like every other city, even though we're a much smaller city, that have nearly the resources or the budget. I understand that perspective. I will keep that perspective as a county commissioner. Now the issue is, do we completely reject the federal money? Or do we decide, like Governor Herbert, well, they've taken it from us, we're going to try and get as much of it back. My approach is, we're going to try and get as much of it back as we can. I'm going to keep being opposed. I will fight the federal government while trying to keep that back. Now, I know some of you disagree on that, and I admire you. You have very high principles. I guess I'm more practical on this issue. Thanks.
I don't know where you got that we've increased the budget 50%. I've heard that, and so I've talked to Brian Thompson, and I've talked to the other commissioners, and I've looked at it, and it just ain't so, folks. Let's talk about the federal government. Our budget, by the way, is about $77 million. And of that, property tax is probably 22 or something around that nature. We get federal money from the government through grants. Sheriff Tracy here, they're in the back. Sheriff Tracy gets grants from the federal government. Our health department gets grants from the federal government. And those are monies that I'm very proud of. I'm happy to get, because those are taxes we've already paid. Now that's different than what I think Becky Lockhart calls the crack money from the federal government. And that's the stimulus money and all of that sort of thing. We've been offered some of that. We don't want it. There are too many strings attached to it. It's a one-time deal, and what the federal government, I think, is trying to do is get us sucked in there and get used to that stuff, and then they'll have us. When I was a commissioner 20 years ago, when I was 9 years old, and I was a commissioner, I'd go back to Washington and say, we need road money. We would go lobby the senators and our congressmen and federal highway for federal funds. Now those are monies that we've paid, and we ought to get back, dang it, for federal funds. That is, and I'll still do that. I'll get that money if it's ours. But I am not in favor of taking government stimulus money, or that one-time money, or the TARP money, or any of that kind of stuff. Because it is, that's where you draw the line in the sand. That's where you say no to those guys. Those guys are way, way out of line. And we've got to stand up and stop it. Now, it's going to cost us some money because we don't take it. But we're just fine. We've done lots of good things, haven't had to raise taxes. Everything we've done without raising taxes. So we don't need their stinking money. Thank you.